In this Halo Wars 2 multiplayer match, I am trying to be aggressive with the Gen First build as Serina, and I'm not entirely sure if it's really a good play or not down the line, but we're going to go ahead and see. I'm playing as Serina, my teammate is playing as Johnson, and we do have a Decimus, and we are going against an Atriox, as well as I forgot the screen was for the two light blue characters, but they're UNSC nevertheless. And so I'm starting off by sending my Marine out right away to go ahead and grab the power around the map. And because this is a Gen First build, I'm going to get the benefits of getting that power, but I am going to be hurting in that supply economy, especially since I made an additional Marine. Now, this is something that I've continuously been trying out. Let me tell you, I've been getting good mixed results with it. For some reason, just starting off Gen First, you do get that power lead, but unfortunately, you kind of get detrimented in every other aspect. And so there's another build order that we'll probably see later on down the line, which is more of a supply gen, upgrade gen first, then supply, then upgrade second gen type of build. But all in all, it's something I'm still going to go ahead and mess around with. And so right away, we see that green has taken the mini base, but has allowed me to go ahead and get the supplies. So I thank them very much. And speaking of which, if you enjoy this content, feel free to leave a like. If not, it is all good. No worries. And so we're going to go ahead and just wait for this base to be taken care of. And then we're going to start getting our second gen. And so now we're going to start working on trying to get that mini. Once we're done getting the supply, we're going to see what type of thing is being developed in that mini base. But I'm looking to try and be aggressive. I'm not going to go hero just because the build order does not really allow that to happen. So I can't get hero on my main base right away, especially since we don't even have our second gen upgraded yet. But we are going to go ahead and at least work on grabbing that mini, so then we'll be able to get a barracks or a war console armory in this case. And so right away, grunts were produced by the enemy team over here, and because we have two marines set up, that person definitely did not see that coming. We're going to be able to at least get rid of the grunt right away. So that's a good 100 plus supply that we just got. And so we're going to keep on trying to pressure this left hand of the mini base while we wait for our mini base ourselves to be ready. And there we go. Speaking of which, that's my nice intuition. There's the armory, and we are going to go armory. And we're also going to get the ice drop, and we're going to get the cryo ability, which will allow us to get shields on our cryo troopers, as well as just having that nice ice barrage come out as well when you're capturing those nodes. And so green is continuously producing grunts, and it's kind of weird because I have 3 marines here, so he keeps on losing his grunts over and over again. I'm not entirely sure if that's a good way to spend his resources, but that's how it is being spent nevertheless. And so we're just going to keep on pressuring this left mini base with the marines that we have, but we don't really have building killers yet, and so that's why we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a barracks, so then we can go ahead and get units to be able to deal with that situation on this left hand side. Or I guess we'll continue to send the rest of our marines here. I did get that leader point ability for the power nodes, but I have not bothered trying to capture nodes yet. And speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and just send 2 marines to start working on the node. So just like that, it's already, my past self is already trying to go ahead and calm down my current self. And we're going to go ahead and grab a second base. The reason why I'm grabbing second base is because I'm going barracks, I am going leader. I do feel like it is comfortable enough for me to try to be able to hold this position if they do push. And so right away, something we can see is that the node was already cleared out by the enemy for whatever reason. And so we're going to go ahead and retreat one of our marines. We're finally going to clear out this mini base. And then we're going to start working on trying to see what is going on with green. And so there we have it. We have ourselves a scout coming in, and green so far is just showing economy build right now. There is an engagement on the right hand side with some grunts and some marines, and we were able to get the first power node on our side over here, which is going to be quite nice to see. And so cryo troopers will continue to be made, grenade ability is going to be made, and so it shows I'm going to plan on staying in Tech 1 for quite some time. And so we're going to go ahead and just start working on that second node. We're going to see if there's anything over here that we can engage with. And speaking of which, there are 4 grunts already set up and positioned for us to be taking out right away. So that's something we want to see. And so we're still multitasking in a way that we have these marines trying to target the base over here, and it turns out green is Pavium. It was not Atriox. I absolutely lied there. And they have themselves a mega turret on the mini base, I guess he was not expecting me to go ahead and pressure this building. And with what we have over here, we should be able to hold Mega Turret. Just really destroyed my Marine over there. Took half his health out. And so a flame drop is going down, which is going to be a little bit of a problem, but we have our ice and our leader coming in as well. So it does look like we are going to be able to take out this expansion. I mean, not expansion base, but this mini base as a whole. Very interesting that they chose to do that, and very interesting that my leader is not even going after the actual base and going after the mega turret instead. And so once we clear out that node, we're going to go ahead and capture that. Here comes Kasano coming in with her flame move. It is going to be a little bit hurtful. We're going to drop an ice drop to surround the enemy over here. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a point to be able to get the Frost Ravens, which will help with the DPS that we need for this base as a whole. And Jerome has now snuck up in the middle to go ahead and deal with us. So light blue is playing as Jerome. We do know that. We now know green is playing as Pavium instead of Atriox. And so we're still doing decent damage on this left hand side with our leader, just kind of causing distractions. But as you can see, we're upgrading our base to 2, but really and truly there's no reason for us to do that. Great Vortex Lightning with some Banshees are coming down as well. And within 6 minutes, we actually were able to get him the Tech 2. That was a very fast Tech 2 with a lot of air already coming out. So that was pretty interesting to see in that regards. And so now we're going to go ahead and upgrade our economy even more. We do have these base slots with now a 4th gen coming in, and we're still not in Tech 2 yet. This is a 7-minute Tech 1 so far. But with the army that we have, we're going to see if we're going to be able to pressure what they have. And the leader is at mid. And I was trying to capture that node, but it looks like they stopped it. But green is trying to get an expansion on this left-hand side. And I want to go ahead and stop it. And so I'm going to send my reinforcements over to this side. Keep making the Ice Hellbringers. And continue to send my reinforcements over to this side. I think all in all, things are looking relatively well. I am making snipers to deal with the Pavium if he does show up. We do have a comfortable amount. And speaking of which, here's the Pavium. A rain of fire is coming down on my army, and it's kind of going to hurt. We're going to not lose anybody, fortunately, and we were able to take out the leader. You definitely was not expecting the reinforcements of the infantry to be coming in. And so just like that, we have just taken out this whole left-hand side once again, and the Pavium's in a quite tough spot. So it does look like we're going with a 1-1-1 build, which just means 1 garage, 1 barracks, 1 apex. Air pad. And then we're going to just focus on our economy. And we have everything that we need. In fact, we're going double barracks. I'm going to make the presumption that we're going to go ahead and get upgrades for that second barracks while the other one is still producing units. Great bunker that's coming down by by red. The shoot out what light blue has. And right now, Frost Ravens are thinking about getting upgrades. We're going to go ahead and get Kodiaks and Combat Tech Marines. We want to see if we can go ahead and push this, but this is not something that I don't think is pushable. But we're going to go ahead and do it anyways because Dark Blue's army is out of position, which is something we want to see. But there is air, and we don't really have Combat Tech Marines yet. And so we're kind of in this awkward spot right now. We're going to go ahead and see if we can drop down a turret, and right on time, Dark Blue has shown up with a bunch of Wolverines and some Flame Hogs. So Dark Blue was Kasano. And so we're going to keep making some of units back in our barracks. Don't know why I'm not hot grouping that either. That's definitely something that could be done better. But right now, things are looking rough. Our leader is being focused down. We're trying to do the ice drop as well to get the ice going. Our Frost Ravens now have the ability to pop their Y move to do additional damage to frozen troops. And it does look like we're going to do great damage in regard to that. But now green has shown up with air, and we're kind of losing our whole army. This is something that I definitely need to improve upon. I made a very bad engagement early on. In this engagement here, and I lost a lot of units, but fortunately I do have an economy, but it is coming at a cost. But we are going to make a second Kodiak, and we're going to go ahead and sneak around, not sneak around, but be with our Red Johnny over here because he has Colossus. So that means I'll go ahead and brunt the damage for him if possible. He does have Nightingales and Banshees now, which is going to be a very good combination for Pavium. But we're still in a comfortable position as a whole to be able to at least pressure. And so we are just swallowing mines everywhere. We are trying to hold this position to the best of our ability, but we are losing troops. And so we're going to keep making the Marines. But as of right now, it's a little bit interesting. I got to regroup my army. They are a little bit staggered, but we do have enough snipers to keep at least the hero for Kasano to be pushed back a little bit. And we did actually upgrade our base to be able to be fully upgraded to get those 2 additional building slots. And so now we're looking to see if we can do some power, a nice power push over here. Kasano is using her flames once again to push us back, but the snipers are doing pretty good in this regard. So we're going to see if we can at least focus down on the hero. The hero's trying to fall back and the hero gets taken out. So all in all, we're going to be able to clear this up relatively well. And that means Dark Blue doesn't really have much left. If you look at the minimap, Yellow has decided to push Light Blue all the way at their main base. And so with what we've got, we're going to see if we can go ahead and finish the deal. Dark Blue is starting to go air as well. And we don't have as many combat tech marines as we would like, but Hero has arrived. And we're just going to go ahead and continue this push because Wolverines are here too. And they're not going to have enough to go ahead and stop what we have over here. And just like that, Dark Blue ends up disconnecting. Light Blue lost his main base, which means he only has 1 base left. And at this point, this game is pretty much over. But if we look back at this engagement that I made about 2-3 minutes ago, that first engagement on Dark Blue was not a good engagement. Definitely stayed on Tech 1 longer than what I wanted to. And on top of that, I didn't really capitalize on the position that I had, at least upgrade-wise. I didn't have much. And so, here we go. Jerome is coming in with some units, but it's not really much. Mac is going to come in and clean it. So, all in all, it's a good learning lesson. Also wanted to see how this build turned out with Gen First. I think it turned out all right. But all in all, it definitely needs improvement as a whole. But I think this infantry play with leader play early on in the game can be actually pretty strong, and that's something I'm going to continue to experiment with. I'm also pretty curious on how our teammate got Banshees up within like 6 minutes. And so that's something that I am actually curious, but we won't really know because we need replays. So 343, if you happen to watch this, please give us replays. I want it. I need it. I'm trying to get better, and I would appreciate it. But that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And here are the results of the game. Our Destiny went 9 for 28. Our Johnson went 10 for 22. I went 22 for 25. As I said, I did lose a lot of units there, but I rocked the economy game. And the Kasano went 29 for 19, 32 for 11, and 16 for 8. I do have myself a Discord channel. If you're interested in joining, feel free to do so. If you want to support any way you can, I have Patreon as well. Or you could just, leave a subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you decide to do. I appreciate it so much, as well as just making it to the end of this video. You did not have to do that, and I appreciate you nevertheless. With that being said, until the next video, have a good one.